The goddess of love and beauty, Venus, enters the intense waters of Scorpio on Monday, December 4th, and until December 29th, you will crave all-consuming passion, raw intimacy, and absolute unity with the objects of your desires. Venus will make a number of harmonious aspects throughout the next few weeks, making this a rather pleasant transit. Let's take a closer look and break it down for all 12 signs. My name is Anastasia. I'm a traditional Western astrologer specializing in natal, relationship, and predictive readings. If you like my work, please support me by leaving a like or a comment, subscribing, and pressing the notification bell. All of that helps show my channel to more people and show my content to a bigger audience. You also have the option of saying thank you by buying me a coffee. I really appreciate everyone who takes advantage of that. If you have important questions, if you're curious what the year ahead has in store for you, you can book a reading with me on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. And right now, as part of the New Year special during December and January, you can save $20 off year ahead readings with the code 20, written down 24 numbers. Coupon codes down below, or save $40 and get a recorded reading to find out what the year ahead has in store for you. That will be in the shop section of my website. In the shop section of my website, you can also find my creation, my astrology planner that I worked on from basically the start of 2023. It has 225 pages filled with astrological insights, journaling prompts, transits, lunar guides, so much information that can help you navigate the positive times of the year and more challenging ones. And on my website, you can also find all of my magical candle and oil creations. For example, this is my first ever Mars candle, perfect for anyone who has struggle asserting themselves, expressing anger, expressing ambition, sticking to the goals. Mars in Scorpio is very persistent, very focused, and this candle captures the energy of the powerful Mars in Scorpio in conjunction with the Sun. If you remember, I posted a video about Mars Cazimi. This is the candle of that moment, so it can help you finish your work, and it can help you express yourself, reach your goals, exercise, do a lot of sort of courageous, brave, leadership-oriented type activities. Check out my website for that. Now that this is all out of the way, let's talk about Venus entering Scorpio. Venus is the planet that is the cosmic glue. She brings people and things together, right? She helps us attract the objects of our desires. She rules the good times. She rules the good relationships. She represents the planet of joy and pleasure and beauty and sort of art. And whenever Venus travels through the signs that she doesn't rule, and she rules Libra and Taurus, she ends up being in the house of that sign, right? She ends up being in the house of the planet that rules that sign. So when Venus goes into Scorpio, she's in the land of Mars, and she has to behave in a way as Mars would do. So she becomes a little bit more skeptical, but a little, like Mars and Scorpio can be very private and mysterious. So Venus becomes more private and mysterious. And I'm saying Mars and Scorpio because Mars rules Scorpio, right? So just thinking of Mars and Scorpio versus Mars and Aries. So there's more depth of feeling. There's more privacy. There's more intensity. There's more of that all-consuming energy. When Venus travels through Libra, we've had Venus in Libra from November 8th until December 4th, romance becomes more playful. Romantic relationships didn't need to be all or nothing. In Scorpio, Venus doesn't like shallow. She doesn't like just sort of flirting for the sake of flirting like Venus and Libra might do. Venus in Scorpio is all about like soulful, sexual, highly merging contacts, right? It's a very loyal placement. It's a very powerful placement, of course, because Venus is in detriment in Scorpio. She might struggle with some of the martial issues, and that is the lack of trust, sort of independence, right? Like Mars tends to stand apart. So Venus in the land of Mars could be afraid to let go, or be afraid of let somebody else see her fully. So be afraid of like sharing who you are, sharing your vulnerabilities, even though you have a lot of them. You might sort of avoid expressing them. But Venus will be making a number of really nice aspects, of course, right before she enters Scorpio. So she enters Scorpio on December 4th, stays here until the 29th. But right before then, on December 3rd, and actually even starting from like November 30th until December 3rd, 4th, Venus will be squaring Pluto. So she's, right, kind of leading up to it. We have Venus in Libra conjoining South Node and squaring Pluto. And as I'm filming, this is the energy that is present, right? Versus Venus hasn't entered Scorpio yet in this current moment of the video universe. But we come into Venus and Scorpio from a more challenging time, right? We have Venus conjoining South Node and squaring Pluto on December 3rd. And that is the time when the shadows become more apparent. The difficulties in relationships, the control issues, the outdated patterns. South Node represents the past, right? South Node represents letting things go. So for some people, you might literally be letting go of a relationship, letting go of the past connection, letting go of something that did not serve you in the past, and choosing something that is maybe more authentic. And that is what I think going from Libra into Scorpio can feel like. In Libra, maybe we played with a bunch of ideas creatively. Maybe we've considered a bunch of relationships romantically, right? Or we've been sort of having an easier, fun time. When Venus and Scorpio becomes like, okay, you have to narrow things down. What's interesting is Mercury also is in Capricorn at this time, and Mercury in Capricorn is a lot more strategic, a lot more rational, a lot more deliberate in the thinking process. So I think Venus actually sextiles Mercury because Mercury is slowing down to go retrograde. So Venus catches up with Mercury, and around December 12th, they aspect one another, making for December 11th. They connect nicely. So not only you crave loyalty, passion, stability, commitment, but you also have the words that can express it quite well. So some other exciting dates that are part of this process, and like I said, there's mostly positive dates, there's mostly positive transits. We do have a more challenging transit with Venus opposing Uranus on the 21st, but besides that, it's pretty nice. It's a pretty good one, this one. So on December 5th, we have Venus trining Saturn. Perfect for committing to things, to people, to relationships, to projects. Saturn likes kind of perfection. Both Saturn and Venus like perfection. They like working on things that are maybe crafty, like kind of perfecting your craft. This is great transit for that. Saturn likes long-lasting things, so Venus and Scorpio also craves kind of loyalty and commitment. So December 5th, December 4th, 5th, 6th, always give it a bit of a room on each side, is really good for building connection, for pushing your creative projects forward, for like taking serious look at something what you're working on and maybe building it up and making it better. December 9th, Venus opposes Jupiter. And opposition always has a bit of a tension built in because it's like Venus and things we desire versus Jupiter and things we find wise to do, right? And so it might be hard to get the levels right. And with Venus-Jupiter opposition, there's always a danger of you sort of leaning too heavily into one or another. So be careful of overspending, overindulging, overpromising, lowering your standards, right? Like you're very kind of, you desire fun and you are likely to get it because Jupiter will offer you more opportunities to have fun. But try not to go down the path of compromising and dating someone or hooking up with someone who is not up to your standards, or even agreeing to something that you cannot deliver or don't want to deal with just because you're trying to please others or trying to have a good time. December 11th, Mercury sextiles Venus. If you have any messages you want to send, if you have any conversations you want to have, any discussions, that will just add a softer touch to it, more ability to get along, more ability to harmonize, more ability to kind of, speak in public, get favors, and express yourself in a serious and eloquent and charming way. December 21st is potentially more difficult with Venus opposing Uranus, so give it 2 days on each side or 3 days on each side. And Venus opposite Uranus can potentially be the shakeup, the test in your relationship. Uranus brings up questions of freedom, independence. So this could be the time to loosen the grip on the relationship or to let go of some kind of expectation of your partner. They might surprise you with some kind of unique statement, I'm not finding the right word for that, but they might sort of reveal some secret that is not always earth-shattering, but just some kind of relationship surprise can come out around this time. And I really like that, the way Venus in Scorpio ends pretty much, or one of the almost final transit. Venus also aspects Pluto later on, but on December 25th, Venus will trine Neptune, and that is really lovely because it's Christmas Day, right? There is that positive energy of, on the 29th, Venus also sextiles Pluto. Just check something. So on the 25th, Venus trines Neptune. It's Christmas Day. It's just like such a relaxing, such a soft, such like a easy energy, and it speaks, if you do run into some kind of shakeup in your relationship, or if you're not in a relationship, maybe like some kind of shakeup in your social dynamics with your friends, with your bosses, colleagues, whatever it might be, things just smooth out. They just get easier. Like you feel more connected, you feel more inspired, you feel more spiritual around Christmas time. So these are the important dates to watch for. Like I said, the 5th, the 11th, the 25th are really nice. The 9th of December can be a little bit of like too much, too soon, too fast, too soon. And December 21st can perhaps reveal where you need to let go of the firm grasp. And now let's take a look at the 12 rising signs and see what this might bring to you, what kind of gifts Venus and Scorpio will offer, and just let's break it down for each sign. For Aries rising, Venus is entering Scorpio on December 4th and will stay here until December 29th, and this is your 8th house. So Venus in the 8th house is the time where you're looking at your dynamics with other people. You're looking at sharing, at giving, at questions of fairness. And this might be the time when you are renegotiating something. Venus will be trining Saturn in your 12th house, and it will be also sextiling Mercury in the 10th house of career. So I wonder if maybe you are finding opportunities to ask for more, right? Like Venus in the 8th is very much, I am interested in your resources, right? Can you give me something? Like Venus in the 8th could be the period where people are just more generous with you and you are receiving more opportunities from other people. There might be opportunities coming from like hidden beneficiaries, people you didn't even know were supportive of you. Like somebody speaks up for you at the meeting and says like, yeah, Ashley actually has been doing a great job. She deserves to be promoted. Or you speak up for yourself. So financial bonuses are likely, some kind of financial boost, opportunities to pay off your debts, opportunities to maybe get some kind of loan, mortgage, inheritance. This could also be quite a spiritual transit, because 8th house represents things outside of our control, sudden surprises, sort of things, spinning out of control. And I think Venus being here trining Saturn in your 12th house could bring a sense of peace and trust that no matter what happens, you can handle it all. December 9th, 21st can be a bit more shaky, so I would be careful overspending and making sort of reckless financial decisions at that time. And December 25th could be quite beautiful, easy, and relaxed. If you are in a relationship, this transit altogether could be the time when your partner's finances improve. And it's just like a lovely period to collaborate with other people and to reach out to other people for a job opportunity, or ask them for advice, or ask them for a loan if that's what you're looking for. Quite a beautiful transit for that. For lovely Taurus risings, Venus is traveling towards your 7th house. And 7th house is the place of relationships. And Venus finds herself quite at ease there, right? Because Venus wants to glue us together. It wants to connect us. So having Venus between December 4th and 29th in your 7th house can raise the volume on your love life. If you're single, this might be the time when somebody appears in your life and invites you out, and maybe you're opening yourself up to dating. If you are in a relationship, you might be going on more dates. You desire commitment, you desire to be wooed. Venus will trine Saturn between December 4th, 5th, 5th, 6th. And Saturn is in your 11th house. So for some of you, I can see you dating, starting to date, or forming a partnership with a friend, or getting some kind of opportunity through a friend, right? Like Saturn in the 11th house brings up responsibilities and duties, and also sort of an interest you have around friendships, around networks, around building a different role for yourself in the community. So Venus in the 7th house trining Saturn in your 11th house can offer a chance, like I said, to start a partnership with a friend, to date a friend, to maybe somehow take your romantic relationship or business partnership and bring it to the next level on social media, or start a podcast with your significant other. All of these are possibilities here. December 9th, 21st can highlight a little bit of tension between you and your partner, where your kind of desires and your search for independence can be a bit at odds with your relationship goals. So you'd have to do some balancing between me and us. And December 25th is quite sort of easy and peaceful and happy. So you do get through the more difficult part of this transit and come out of it unscathed, I think. Yeah, but overall, like, expect this to be quite a passionate time. Watch out for the shadowy side of Venus and Scorpio, and that is being too controlling, being too possessive, manipulating instead of being honest. So try to choose the higher vibrational Scorpio energy. For Gemini risings, Venus is entering the 6th house between December 4th and the 29th. And Venus in the 6th should be quite beautiful for your health. So if you've been struggling with your health, if you've been maybe feeling overwhelmed, maybe dealt with a cold, or had someone in your environment, like your child, catch a cold, Venus spending 3.5 weeks, right, in your 6th house can definitely improve that, improve your health, or even help you find that right medicine, find that doctor who actually knows how to treat you better. It's also the house of work and the grind and problem solving. So Venus being here and trining Saturn between December 4th and 6th, and Saturn is in your 10th house of career, can be the time when your professional matters are feeling more rewarding, Maybe there is more support, maybe there's more opportunities, maybe there's a bonus that is coming your way, or even just an overall sense of recognition from your boss of your accomplishments. Venus is about love, so dating a colleague is another possibility here, or just enjoying spending time with people you work. There might be more sort of get-togethers, more hangs after work, and more opportunities to collaborate professionally. Or date someone you're working with. The more challenging dates here are December 9th, December 21st, and even less so December 9th, more so December 21st. But this might be the time, like those might be the days when I urge you to not overload yourself, because the tendency might be to try to handle it all and try to be on top of things, but then you sort of overexert yourself and overstretch yourself, overextend yourself. The good news is that December 25th has a positive energy as Venus trines Neptune. And once again, you're feeling more rewarded, more happy, and more at ease. Let me know how this resonates. If you can already see that, December 9th, 21st can potentially be more difficult. For Cancer risings, Venus is entering your 5th house, and Venus will be in the 5th house between December 4th and 29th. This is house joy for Venus, so automatically you are more attractive, right? 5th house is the place of good times, and Venus likes having good times. So you can expect to date more, you can expect to have more opportunities, people sort of reaching out to you and asking you out. 5th house is the place of fun, so you may be discovering or rediscovering or sort of bringing back your creative talents or your creative passions into your life, maybe going out dancing, maybe doing pottery if that's something you're interested in. It's also the house of children, so you might be more focused on your child, potentially, maybe your child's education, because Venus will be trining Saturn between November 4th and 6th in your 9th house. Or you are finding more joy in education. You might be getting excited about studying, or excited about moving, excited about opening your life to new perspectives and bringing fresh energy into the mix, right? Because Saturn has been in your 9th house for a while, but now it's getting a supportive aspect by Venus. And if you felt like things were sort of like everything was a drudgery a little bit, Venus entering your 5th house and trining Saturn will be like, no, it's not that bad, right? We talked about dating, we talked about children, creative projects. You might get inspired to do something new and maybe pick up a creative project, and any relationship that starts right now within this period is potentially going to be more like steamy, because it is Venus in Scorpio after all. December 9th, December 21st, mark your calendars as potentially more challenging. December 9th has that energy of like overdoing it or trying to fulfill duties to yourself, to your child, and then duties to the larger world, kind of handling too many things at once, or maybe partying a bit too hard if you have any plans to do that. And December 21st can bring a bit of a shakeup coming from friendships, or maybe some kind of sudden revelation, and also tension between balancing your personal goals and your societal responsibilities. But I do like that December 25th has a happier, easier energy as Venus trines Neptune. If you are a Leo rising, Venus is making her way to your 4th house and will stay here between December 4th and 29th. And Venus in the 4th tends to be a blessing for spending time with family. You feel like you enjoy spending time with family more. And you might also be more interested right now in changing your home. Maybe you are redecorating, redesigning, maybe you're moving and finding a different place. Between December 4th and 6th, Venus will be trining Saturn in your 8th house. And so you have this harmonious energy between your home, family, comfort, security, and the house of other people's resources, the house of mortgage, the house of loans, the house of energy other people might share with you. So starting with a friend recommending a building in their neighborhood that you can move into, and ending with a mortgage getting approved, right? Like there's a lot of possibilities. Or even maybe just you feeling like your finances are better and you are able to invest into a better home for yourself. You're sort of starting to gear up for that. Watch out for overdoing too much, or like overdoing things and taking too much at work around December 9th, 21st. Because if you do on December 9th, December 9th really has that tense energy between I want to stay home with my family, I want to like relax, and Jupiter is at work in the work sector saying, yeah, but we have all these dreams, we want to accomplish things. So the danger is like trying to do too much. And December 21st can bring surprises and sudden breakthroughs around work. So maybe then your home life and your sense of comfort and your sense of I know what I see my future being gets changed somehow. Luckily, on December 25th, Venus will trine Neptune, so the energy softens and relationships get better, and you do enjoy some kind of happy night in, potentially. If you are a Virgo rising, Venus is making her way towards your third house, and she'll be here between December 4th and 29th. And Venus in the third house tends to be the time when your mind is more inspired, for sure. Third house is the place of communication, and Venus will soften your communication. She will get you more interested in writing, in teaching, and interacting with siblings, right? This might be the time when you find, especially, you find a lot of pleasure with hanging out with siblings and going out and exploring your neighborhood, maybe getting to know your neighbors, getting to know people next door to you. There might be more short trips, more opportunities to date also, possibly, especially between December 4th and 6th, and then again around December 24th, 5th, 6th, as we have Venus in your third house of neighborhood, trining Saturn and Neptune in the seventh house of relationships. So dating neighbors, partnering up with siblings, starting some kind of project with your significant other that involves writing, creating, even going on a short trip and having a good time is likely here. December 9th and 21st can be a bit rough and might bring some ideological debates and a need to be more flexible around when it comes to travel, when it comes to education, when it comes to legal matters and publishing. But if you stay patient, you will get through it because, we have a lovely transit on December 25th. Let me know how this resonates in the comments below. For Libra risings, Venus is entering your second house, and Venus in the second house is all about money and all about values, right? So Venus in the second could mean making money through Venusian things like art, beauty, sales. Venus will be trining Saturn and Neptune in your sixth house of everyday work and grind, making it perhaps easier to do work, making it more rewarding. Even if it's not, even if it's not like a physical reward where you get a bonus, you could. Venus in the second can definitely result in a bonus, but it could also be the time when you get rewarded via a happy comment from your boss, right? And you feel like, okay, this is worth my time, this is worth the effort. So financial rewards are likely, but also a sense of accomplishment and a sense of, I got this, is very much the symptom of this transit. But I'm curious, maybe for some of you it's the end of the year, maybe there is a bonus coming. I wish I send you all lots of money, millions of dollars to everyone who's watching me right now. Let's dream. So yeah, so like I said, making money, maybe spending more money, you're buying more gifts, so money is coming to you, but you're also basically just sending it on its way pretty quickly. Watch out of be careful over spending too much around December 9th and 21st, as Venus will oppose Jupiter in your 8th house and will oppose Uranus in the 8th house. And also perhaps you may have to deal with some kind of conversations related to resources between you and your partner and balance things out and sort of negotiate things. For Scorpio risings, Venus is entering your first house. This is you at your most charming. Venus in the first house is most embodied, right? As the rest of the planets in the first house tend to be. And I'm sorry for the construction sounds that suddenly decided to start up again. But you are more charming. You are more willing to dress up. Other people might compliment you more. You're more interested in your looks during this period between December 4th and 29th. It's a great time to update your wardrobe, update your look. Venus is wrapping up its transit through my first house, and I bought myself mustard colored shoes. They haven't arrived yet, but fingers crossed, I like them. So that has been my investment into my appearance. But yeah, investing into your appearance, maybe starting projects that are more creative, that are more, creative, artistic, maybe exploring your hobbies. Venus will be trining Saturn and Neptune in your 5th house, kind of between December 4th, 6th, and then again between December 24th, 26th. And that is your 5th house. So bringing in your creative side, bringing in your romantic side, your more playful side. For some of you, your Venus in the first house could be connected to changes you're going through because you're getting pregnant potentially, or there is some kind of development connected to giving birth or something like that. But for the rest, it will just be a very pleasant transit. Watch out for relationship tensions and relationship kind of difficulties, or a need to try to balance things better around December 9th and 21st, as Venus opposes Jupiter in your 7th house and then Uranus in the 7th house. This just feels like, the 9th feels like you're trying to do too many things between your needs and your partner's needs, and the 21st could be an opportunity to revolutionize and change your relationship and maybe update things. Maybe it could be connected to your business partnership. For Sagittarius rising, Venus is going towards your 12th house. We'll be here between December 4th and 29th. And Venus in the 12th house is love behind closed doors. So if you're single, this might be the time when you meet someone and you are sort of just getting to know them, and maybe you feel like not sharing the romance with the rest of the world. If you are in a relationship, perhaps there's a lot going on, but once again, in the privacy of your home. 12th house represents being sort of far away, foreign places, faraway lands. So getting away could be especially enjoyable around this time. And you might find yourself more inspired to work on something, once again, likely behind closed doors. There is a lot of sort of things happening in the privacy of your mind, of your home. We do have Venus between December 4th and 6th, trining Saturn in your 4th house, and then trining Neptune in the 4th house between December 24th and 26th. And here we're connecting your desire for privacy with the house of home, family, and living situation. And I wonder if you're traveling to see family and sort of disconnecting, or you are maybe taking on projects in the home. Maybe there are some opportunities to change your living situation, to get away with the family, to relocate. All of those are quite good. Watch out for overworking yourself around December 9th and 21st. And if you do try to balance things out, if there is a lot on your plate around that time, make sure you're not pushing yourself too hard, because we have an opposition between the planet Venus in the house of rest and Uranus and Jupiter in the house of everyday work. So there's likely to be a lot going on. And if you push yourself too hard, you might catch a cold or something. So be careful and enjoy this transit. Watch out for dating people who are not good for you. Venus in the 12th could totally go for like passion and just be like, it's Venus in Scorpio especially. She might go for someone that, you know, is mysterious and sultry, and is sultry a word? I think it is. But someone who's like really maybe ignites your heart, right, on some level, but is married. So just beware of that manifestation of this transit. If you are a Capricorn rising, Venus is entering your 11th house. So you're becoming more social, you're becoming more driven to network, you're finding more pleasure in spending time with people you know, with your old friends, or, you know, groups that you belong to, like a book club or a volunteering organization that you go to. You might also get more opportunities to shine in public, maybe teach a class, maybe speak at a panel. And maybe you're getting to present some of your ideas, some of your writing projects, or some of your, you know, knowledge in a form of a podcast or in a form of, once again, speaking in front of a panel. Venus will be trining Saturn in your 3rd house between December 4th and 6th. And then trining Neptune between December 24th and 26th. And here we're connecting the house of friendships, networks, hopes, and dreams to the house of communication, writing, scheduling, skills, business. And like, I can see you formulating an idea. I can also see you taking action to reach your dreams, maybe like reaching out to a friend and asking for help. Networking, right? Presenting, sending your screenplay to somebody, or starting a podcast, starting a social media page on which you are sharing your knowledge is likely here. Be careful on December 9th and 21st as Venus in your 11th house opposes Jupiter and Uranus in the 5th. This could bring a bit of like a need to perhaps address something in your romantic life or in your creative projects, and perhaps find a better balance, right? The 21st, especially when Venus opposes Uranus, can bring breakdowns, but also breakthroughs related to romance, related to pleasure, you understanding what you desire more. And maybe even some breakthroughs related to parenthood, right? Where you find out you're pregnant and now you have to adjust all of your dreams. So let me know how this resonates, Capricorn rising. If you are an Aquarius rising, Venus is entering your 10th house of career, status, and reputation. Will be here between December 4th and 29th. And Venus in the 10th house is beautiful for doing work that you enjoy. You become more selective with your choices and perhaps go after projects that that allow your creative side to shine. This is very much like, you know, all or nothing energy when it comes to work. So you might say no to something that is not exciting you and choose projects that are exciting you. I like that Venus trines Saturn in your 2nd house between December 4th and 6th, and then trines Neptune in your 2nd house between December 24th and 26th. 2nd house is the place of money. So with Venus in the 10th house of career, trining Saturn in the house of money, could you be getting a bonus? Could you be getting a raise? Could you be getting a payment for a project you've done a while back? Feeling more valued, 2nd house represents things that we value. So getting a reward that is not financial, but maybe more like verbal acknowledgement is a possibility here. And yeah, an overall sense of like being more secure in yourself professionally and being more secure in the work that you're doing. Watch out for a bit of a home, family versus work and duties you have to your job drama around December 9th and 21st, as Venus in your 10th house of career opposes Jupiter and Uranus in the 4th house of home and family. Especially the 21st, because Uranus in the 4th can bring breakthroughs and breakdowns in your home that then affect your ability to focus on your work. So try to be flexible around that time. And please let me know how this resonates in the comments below. If you are a Pisces rising, Venus is entering your 9th house. We'll be here between December 4th and 29th. Venus in the 9th is beautiful for learning. It's Venus in Scorpio we're talking about, so maybe you're learning about sex, sexuality, intimacy. Maybe you're taking like a tantra class or something like that. It could be the time when you're feeling more creative. Maybe you're also even questioning, where does creativity belong in your life and how you can bring more of it into your life. Venus will be trining Saturn in your 1st house and Neptune in your 1st house between December 4th and 6th, and then December 24th, 26th. And it's interesting because like Saturn being in your 1st house is very much the time when you are looking at yourself. You're looking at your role in the world. You're looking at yourself through the lens of Saturn. You're like, what's my legacy? What's my message to the world? What do I want to be known for, right? And it's aspecting Venus in the 9th house, and the answer might involve education. It might involve writing, publishing. It might involve travel, moving to a different place. So kind of very existential type questions, but also with Venus in the 9th house, more pleasure from traveling, more pleasure from dating a foreign person, meeting someone during your travels, more inspiration to write, better perhaps like ease when it comes to legal matters. Of course, it's Venus in detriment, so she can throw some surprises your way, especially around December 9th and 21st when she opposes Jupiter and Uranus. The 21st is especially, like December 9th has this vibe of like taking on too much and just feeling overwhelmed, or wanting to have fun and not wanting to do the work. So be mindful of that, because if you do choose fun over work, it can catch up to you on December 21st and make things like, you know, Venus in the 9th will oppose Uranus in the 3rd, and it's like, oh, I forgot about these little details. I forgot about the logistics, and now the bigger project is compromised. So let me know how this resonates. Enjoy Venus in Scorpio. We get Venus in Scorpio every year for a few weeks, so hopefully we can all feel the passion and avoid the jealousy and obsessive side of Venus in Scorpio. And yeah, have a great time. I will talk to you very soon. Bye.